Good morning. I wanted to try something a little bit different this week. I don't know if you've noticed, if you're a normal follower of our blog, you may have noticed that on Thursdays we've been trying to do reviews. Those may be product reviews, they may be location reviews. Like last week we had a review on reasons to visit Milwaukee. We've done book reviews. Whatever can be reviewed, we try to review stuff and put it out there on Thursdays so that we can help people. I truly believe in word of mouth marketing. I truly believe that I would rather buy something, read something, go someplace, etc., if I know someone who has already experienced it, used it, and loved it. And I want to stay away from things that people hate, right? Don't we all? So anyway, I thought that I would try something a little bit different. I've been wanting to do a review of Kristen Mae's book, Beyond the Brink. It was just published in June. I actually received an advance copy, and I'm actually writing friends with Kristen. We met recently in person at a blogging conference, but anybody that I know through my writing groups and Facebook groups, I love to support. So I had heard the buzz around this book, and let's just say Kristen is the master of writing really steamy sex scenes. And in this book, there are female and male and female experiences, and she left nothing to the imagination, we'll put it that way. If you're in the mood for something hot and steamy, this book will not leave you disappointed. So I had already heard those things about Hazel and Claire, and it's not a secret that there is a female to female romance that sparked. It's interesting. It's not a lesbian experience, but that's kind of hard to explain. They're both heterosexual women married to men, mostly happily married to men, and living their lives. Sorry, trying to find a good angle with the lighting here. But due to a severe sexual trauma, a rape that happened in the main character Hazel's past, she's got a lot of things that she's been dealing with, and she finds herself kind of falling in love in a way with her girlfriend, with her friend Claire, who embodies all of these elements that she just really finds attractive. And she doesn't really understand what's going on because she loves her husband. She's never thought of women in that way, but she finds herself just absolutely undeniably drawn to Claire. They're both musicians, and they go to Italy for a week-long festival. I mean, a month-long festival that they're teaching students in and performing in. And something happens between them, and it winds up getting really serious. And it's just a really well-written book about something that's much, much deeper than sex. And Kristen did a really great job at developing these characters and showing how traumatic events can really turn you sideways. I didn't understand the name of the book, Beyond the Break, until almost at the end, when something happens and then you understand what it means. But I enjoyed reading the book because it was not only an easy read, and it's an entertaining read. She did a great job, but her use of the language, her writing skills, her depth of character. They're both musicians, and I'm a musician, a trained musician, and I could tell that either Kristen was a trained musician as well, or had done a lot of research. And turns out when I got to the end of the book and read about the author, what I found out is that Kristen is actually a violinist. So that made a lot of sense, because she was able to describe things in a way that I feel like only a musician or someone who's really, really well researched could do. but also she uses Italian language and her imagery and everything throughout the book. It's fantastic. But I think what I liked the most about it, though, was how she really got inside Hazel's mind, how she really just dove into the feelings and the emotions and the trauma and the got to the core of Hazel's being, and how a very traumatic event in her had shook her to the core, and I mean, years later was manifesting itself in her actions with Claire. So it's more than a book about sex. It's a book about discovery. It's a book about friendship. It's a book about finding out who you are and what's going on with you. It's a book about healing. It's just really a fantastic book. And I wanted to read a little clip from it. Let's see here. I thought that I was on the page, but my page has moved. Okay. Just to kind of give you an example of how beautiful her writing is. And let me just read this to you. Okay. In the afternoon, I flipped myself wrong side out, playing through some of my old violin repertoire. The notes ripped through me in a way they never had before, pulsing and penetrating and unsheathing my nerves. I had to put down my violin and listen to other violinists on YouTube playing the same pieces I'd just been practicing to see if the experience was the same, if the music came from another source besides me. It was. I sat for a while absorbing piece after piece until my nerves wound themselves so tight that I felt like a violin string myself, pluck me and all vibrate. Leaning back on the couch and letting the haunting notes of the Sibelius violin concerto work their way into my bones, I grew rigid with angst, scraped my fingernails up my thighs so ravenously that I left bright red marks and bits of torn skin in their wake. It was as if I'd been trapped inside my own body and had been cracked open, and now I was rushing out of myself like molten lava, hot with readiness to finally be loose. When I could take no more, I turned off the music, stuffed myself back where I belong, and sutured the crack. And that's how her writing is pretty much throughout the entire book. I mean, not all of it is as it's conversational, it's easy to read, it's beautiful. It's, if you've ever been in a place where you just felt destroyed by something, or felt like you just needed to get out of your own skin, like, this book was absolutely amazing. Does it have some great sex scenes? Yeah, like I said, she left absolutely nothing to the imagination. There is some steam, there is romance, there is love, there is travel, there is drama. I think I laughed out loud in a few places. I'm trying to remember. It's not one that I would describe as a funny book by any means, but I'm sure, Kristen did it all in the book. So if you're looking for a good summer read, I highly recommend it. And again, it's Kristen Mae's Beyond the Brink. Find it on Amazon. I will leave the link in the notes, and I hope you enjoyed this review. Have a great sunny July day. Bye.